Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca Lombardo, host of VendorVibes and fractional CMO. Today, I am here with Spencer from Laasie. Hello, Spencer.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So tell me, what is Laasie?
Yeah, sure. I guess in a sentence, Lassie is a program that helps short-term rentals, vacation rentals tap into experience-driven loyalty and recognition, all fully white labeled, right? I know that you know, today there's really two forms of loyalty. It's like the points-based programs that we create, and then sometimes it's joining an outside loyalty program. We're sort of right in between, where we allow you to build an instantly gratifying rewards ecosystem, but also make it your own.
Would you say that's what makes you guys unique, or what would you say makes you so special?
Yeah, I'd like to think there's a lot of uniqueness about Lassie, but that is definitely one of them because, it is a big barrier for short-term rentals and vacation rentals. When they think about loyalty, they think about, how am I going to do points when I don't have a lot of things that I can redeem those points for? Right? I don't have on-site golf and spa and F&B. And beyond that, how do I make those points more valuable than points at Marriott nearby or Hilton? So that's one piece. But the other piece as well is I don't want the loyalty that I'm creating with my guests to be loyalty with an outside company, right? Like a Stash or Preferred, right? I want to build my own loyalty in my own community. So that's really one of the big unique pieces of Lassie. And beyond that, I think one of the things that we do when we create rewards, obviously we think loyalty, we think rewards. So what those rewards are is really curated to the guest experience. We know that guests don't necessarily travel with where they're staying as a primary motivator, right? They're usually traveling to Salt Lake to ski, or they're traveling to New York to see the Statue of Liberty. There are other reasons why really guests choose where they're traveling. So we build rewards that's able to curate and prop up the experience. When you travel to New York, take $10% off, big bus tours and tour the city, or lobster boat tour. When you travel to Salt Lake, take some credits off of a lift ticket. So really just introducing rewards that make the overall experience, wherever the units or properties may be, better, rather than ways that you can recycle your points or your dollars back in with the brand. Let's just make your vacation better, right? So that's one of the big unique things I would say Lassie does really well.
That's interesting. So is there a prerequisite to working with you? Like, do I need to have a PMS in place already?
No, there are a couple of PMSs that I think are just in general easy to work with, some that are difficult. But we're very flexible in how we introduce loyalty. Usually what we want to see is some kind of online booking presence, right? There definitely are some short-term rentals that do a lot of call-only bookings. A little bit hard for us to establish rewards and loyalty. It's not saying it's impossible, but when we can't understand, how a guest is booking and where they're booking, it's a little bit more difficult for us to deliver rewards. Now, again, lots of ways that we can do it through call centers and things like that. But yeah, that's sort of particular to that, type of environment where we have some sort of online booking presence, sure. But no PMS or booking engine or POS specific requirements for sure.
Okay. And are you mainly in the US, or can you work with anyone anywhere?
Yeah, we do work with a bunch of international companies. We work in Greece, the UK, some in kind of Europe and in Australia, but predominantly US. Yes, mostly just because of the demand in the US. There's a ton of short-term rental, vacation rental, independent hotels. So our focus has really been North America based for sure.
And do I need to have a certain number of properties, or how many properties do I need to have in order to work with you?
Yeah, I mean, need probably not, but I will say our sweet spot is definitely over 100 units managed. For us, that's just easier for us to really spread out rewards and how guests are recognized. And there's a lot more of that online kind of digital booking presence. We get a lot more guests that we can drive loyalty with. When we start to get under the potentially 100 units, we may not have as many guests that we can drive loyalty with, right? Online bookers that we do, or it's more sporadic. We don't have a ton of repeat visitation. We're usually under that 100 unit threshold. again, not to say we can't, but definitely above 100 units is our sweet spot.
And if you could think about your happiest clients right now, can you tell me why they are so happy with you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tricky question because I think, there are a number of ways that we make our clients happy, and it's really just based off of what they want to do, right? So, for instance, some clients that we have are very interested in first party data capture, right? They know that cookies is going away and they need some mechanism where they can build a community or an audience with data, age, gender, birthday, so they can start to develop some really advanced marketing. So in that sense, some really happy customers are customers that lean into capturing first party data through on kind of on-site enrollment or booking engine or homepage enrollment, where they're really diving into getting guests in the door, because they know once they get guests in the door, their ability to then convert them is much higher. A really happy customer of ours is really just focused on conversion, right? That's probably far and away the most ideal customer that we can think of, as somebody that is wanting to compete a little bit more aggressively against the Airbnbs or the Verbos of the world, and they want to put their booking, their direct booking, at the forefront of a guest's mind when they're booking. So we do that very, very well. All we're doing, like I said, in some ways, is we're creating a much more higher perceived value experience, right? So you stay with Airbnb or Vrbo, you get maybe this credit, you get some of the convenience of booking with Airbnb, right? Because people know that. But when you book direct with us, you get a free donut for you and your family, or 12 donut holes across the street. And when you go back home to San Diego or LA, you might get credit at Disneyland. So I think that's a really big one for us, is people that want to see conversion, because we do that very well. On average for us, it's about a 40% uptick in direct bookings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if somebody wants to work with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, I think the normal outlets. So you can go to Laasie.ai and take a look at sort of what we're doing, some of our customers, and then there's a button there that says request demo. It comes to me. Obviously, my direct info, I'm sure, will be potentially linked out here. It's just Spencer@Laasie.ai. Reach out, call, text, email. Happy to have a quick conversation, see if this works. One thing that I'll say, is in my time as a hospitality tech sort of salesperson, I think I've always been more exploratory rather than just trying to make something fit. So if you want to reach out and you want to just ask, do you think this will work? I'll be honest with you. I'm very transparent in that regard. Like, hey, I don't think it's a good fit, or I think this would be a perfect fit, right? So any and all inquiries, questions, we're open to have a conversation for sure.
And I can personally attest to that for sure. Well, Spencer, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. It was a great conversation, and I hope people reach out to you.
Absolutely. I was happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
My pleasure. Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.